Hi Domenico, thanks for joining me. I want to start with asking you a question about crew welfare. So crew welfare is the absolute heart of many of MarTrust's products, all of MarTrust's products. Can you tell me a little bit about how we address some of the problems and challenges the crew have?
Absolutely. It's a very hot topic in the industry, and there are many reasons why it's important to talk about this. But just to be factual, we can discuss about two specific items. One is the pandemic, and one is the current war between Ukraine and Russia. So going to the pandemic, we know from our customer, ship manager, manning agencies, that their seafarers are obliged to stay on board. They have a lot of difficulties to go on shore. They have difficulty to get cash. This is an habit of our industry, paying half of their total salary in cash. And they cannot transfer money back home. It's been complicated, both for the seafarer and both for the shipping company as well. So creating a digital solution for them is very interesting. And they could transfer money back home with our solution without leaving the vessels. And they can do this anytime, as long as they have a Wi-Fi connection. Similar problem, but unfortunately under sad circumstances, for the war in Ukraine. It's not easy for them. It's very complicated for the seafarer. And sending money back home, bringing cash back home, it's not the easiest option for them. So again, having access to an account with digital cash and sending money anytime to different family members is very important. So in this respect, we say that we are caring about the welfare of seafarer.
So Domenico, one of our key solutions is the e-wallet. Could you tell me what some of the big benefits of the e-wallet are for shipping companies?
Right, okay. In the recent years, in the last decade, there has been an attempt by the shipping company to go digital. And it's a very conservative industry. It takes time. The adoption is very slow. But when it comes to paying the salary of seafarer, this is very important. So for you and me, it's a little bit different because we are paid by our employer locally. So we receive salary same day when we get paid. It's a very easy one. For a seafarer, they have different nationalities all across the world. Receiving a salary is very complicated. It's a cross-border transfer. And the habit in the industry is to send 80% of the basic wage with a wire transfer home to the family member usually, but the rest is given in cash. It's given in cash on board. And it's not only 20%, there is also payment for overtime and bonuses and other things. Now, this is very costly for the shipping company because they need to make sure that either the cash is on board, so it's trapped working capital, it's trapped cash, or the cash is sent to a port agent. So there is a security element as well. And this is expensive. To deliver cash on board, you need to have some security company doing this, and the cost of this is over 2-3%, depending on the ports where you send cash. Now, digitizing this, you can make an instantaneous payment directly into the account of the seafarer. So all this back and forth request, email, fax, communication between the seafarer, the captain, and the payroll team on shore disappear. It's an instantaneous transfer of funds. And at the same time, as I said before, the seafarer is empowered because they can do whatever they want with their own money. They can decide to keep the funds in their account or sending money back home at their own convenience.
So for shipping companies, it's more efficient.
Yes.
It is simpler.
Absolutely.
It's safer and less working capital is tied up.
Absolutely.
So the same question, Domenico, from the crew's perspective. So we can see that the e-wallet makes sense for shipping companies. What about the seafarers though?
Well, that's what I said before.
Yeah.
The seafarer receives the salary on his account, on the wallet. He has access to his funds any point in time, and he can decide whether keep the fund, sending the fund home, or using a prepaid card associated with this account and spend wherever he wants.
So for the seafarer, it sounds as if it's safer and it's more convenient. What about the cost aspect on the crew side?
Our solution is very cost effective. And this is why, since we launched our product, we didn't experience any product rejection. So, as we say in UK, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So we launched the product with a very competitive pricing. They didn't reject it, they like it, they use it. It means that it's convenient for them.
So to what extent does MarTrust operate globally?
Well, MarTrust is an industry-specific
Maritime.
Yep. Okay, and maritime is global.
Yeah.
And maritime is 24/7. This is what is differentiating us from other banks, for example, because a bank, usually operates regionally. It's a Monday, Friday from 9 to 5, but we need to match the needs of our customers. And the requirement of the shipping company is you need to be global and you need to be always available around the clock. And this is why we add that benefits to the shipping company that the current financial service infrastructure is not doing.
So Domenico, we are a specialist, 100% maritime provider. What are the benefits of shipping companies using a specialist provider for these services?
Let me give an example, right? I can make an analogy here, okay? It's same difference when you go to a supermarket or you go to a niche shop. So you want to make sure that you get quality, that you know that the customer wants to know that the provider is speaking the same language. So they don't have to explain to you what IMO is. Banks may not know. A compliance officer in a bank may not know the average salary of a seafarer, so they might ask questions. So one of the main reasons for a customer to join us is because they have heavy workload interacting with their bank. The bank works on all verticals. We specialize only in one. So as we used to say, we speak shippings. So we know what the problems are, and we take away all this headache from the desk of the accounting department when they have to interact with the bank and explain why the reason of payment. We know it because we are in the sector as much as our customers.